Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So I went deep in the trenches today. I literally just spent 15 minutes engaged in listening to the enemies of the United States discuss stuff. Now, let me point something out to you guys. First off, these are migrants, I don't know if they're legal or not, discussing the presidential race, Democrats and Republicans, inflation, all of that stuff. The audacity. That's all I can say. The next thing I'm going to tell you guys is this. It does not matter whether it is in a county, a city, a parish, a state, or federal. No one that is not a U.S. citizen should ever have a vote in this country, ever, for any reason. And the reason is this. They don't understand our country. They want our country to be like the countries that they fled for a better life, which is counterproductive. We are a constitutional republic for a reason. We are not a democracy, nor are we a socialist country. In other words, we are not supposed to support you. We're not supposed to pay for your medical or your dental or anything else. That is the reality of it. If you want that, you need to live in that type of country or state nowadays, okay? Now, the second thing, when they discuss inflation, they don't understand that when money begins to be printed, look at that, it devalues it and raises the inflation. There are 5 main reasons for inflation, but printing more money always causes inflation. Always causes inflation. It devalues the dollar. Try not to get upset while you listen. This is just a hint of what we are up against as Americans. We are called racist. It literally, a blanket statement was said that every MAGA Republican and every Republican was racist, period. Anybody watches my life for more than 5 minutes a day, I think you would probably go to hell for saying I was racist. Real talk. That's the biggest lie ever said. But that is how they perceive us. That is how they perceive us. They perceive us as stopping them from getting free health care. They perceive us as being out to get them. What they don't realize is that we are all immigrants in this country. Every one of us. The difference is our ancestors came here legally, without a net to catch them. And it made us the strongest country in the world. Enjoy it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video. Show other people this video. People need to wake up. This is the kind of nonsense that is being discussed all around our beautiful country. These people literally, they make no sense at all. None. I'm just warning you. Get ready to get irritated.
It's going to be more beneficial for our community, right? So those are some of the things that I think about when I'm deciding to vote.
So for me, I like to take it to the individual. I cannot tell anyone what to think, who to vote for, if their vote isn't validated because they don't vote for one.
But nobody's telling you that, man.
So for me, right? For me, Rolo, it's an individual choice. It's not like a group choice, right? So if I vote third party, that's my individual constitutional right to do so.
Yeah, but that's where you lost me.
Wouldn't your individual vote harm the community?
No, because I don't subscribe to that at all. Because I don't think an individual vote, my individual votes, one vote is going to change anything, right? So
I guess I would agree with you. Like, let's say that you lived here with, near my area in Idaho, and then you tried to do like a vote just to like spite the system. Then I would 100% agree with you, right? Your vote's not going to matter in red Idaho, because even if you vote third party or you vote Democrat, like I do, it doesn't really matter because it's freaking Idaho. It always goes red. So I think at that point, a vote.
But she live in Arizona. In Arizona, Rolo, every vote counts,
Every vote
right?
counts. I was gonna say,
Yeah,
like if
and
you live more in,
it's my
more in a,
constitutional, but it's my constitutional right
absolutely
as
it's
an
your constitutional right.
individual to vote for whoever I want to vote for.
But nobody's
But that's not
denying
the-
that.
that's not the argument,
Mary.
though,
Nobody's
Yes,
denying
I
that.
understand
deny
that that's
that,
not the
Tony.
argument. I understand
Yes,
that that's
you
not the
did.
argument, but I don't feel like I am endangering anybody just because myself, and I have a
Yes, you
constitutional
are
right
endangering
to
yourself.
pick something else.
So I understand
hang
how
on,
like
hang on,
your
guys. Let me
reasoning,
speak
Mari.
for 1 second. It's Janae. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Hi, Mom.
Hi,
How you doing,
Mom.
sweetheart? Tony, yes, you did, because you said mega people are all racist. You blanket statement.
I don't say
and
that.
That's not.
I don't say all of the MAGA is
We're
racist.
derailing
I
the
don't say that.
conversation. I would like to go
The
back to Mari.
majority is racist.
But you can't do
But
that
yes,
because
but don't
if
change.
I
Don't
decide
change the
to vote,
topic.
Can we go back to
no,
the
I'm not.
conversation, though?
I'm talking about voting.
Yeah,
I'm
we're talking about something else,
voting.
Janae.
Hold on, Janae.
And
We can talk about that first. First, I want to explore a little bit deeper. You know, the vote, right? The third party vote, or like a
Or
voto-
abstaining from presidential
or
vote. There's many
abstaining.
people.
Yeah, or
there's many people
abstaining.
who abstained just from the presidential votes. Also,
Yeah. So let's explore that. All right. So I think it's objective. It's true. It's factually true that in more purple states, every vote counts.
sure.
Because it comes down to, I mean, how did Biden win? How did Trump win? Trump won with less than 70,000 votes because of the Electoral College, right? So in swing states, this type of vote is very, very dangerous and detrimental, even if you do have the right to do it. Well, nobody's denying that you have the right to like vote or not vote, right? Abstain from your vote. But I think you have to take a deeper like thought going into that, saying that if I am in a not secure state that I know is going to go blue, and then if I do this type of vote, it is definitely going to hurt, the country. And in that scenario specifically, a vote for a third party or an abstention vote, it's going to be a vote for Trump.
Well,
That's kind of
Rolo,
where we have to explore, right?
well, Rolo, the same logic can be applied to the other side, right? So when I come into conversations with MAGA people, right, they say the same thing to me. So if I vote for Biden, I'm voting, against Trump. So the same
that is true, though.
logic, that you're telling me right now, it is applied to both sides, right?
Yeah, but
and so they think
so
I'm
that's
dangerous
where
as well.
your personal values go,
So-
right? If I lived in Arizona and I want my vote to count, then I am going to vote for the party that best fits and helps not only myself but my community also.
Oh, okay.
we
You're
know
So,
the
absolutely
Republican
right,
Party-
Rolo.
so sometimes that's not Republican,
Republican
or
Party-
Democrat.
Well, I think it's factually
but-
correct that the Republican Party, when I vote Republican, I am 100% voting against my own interests. Whereas in the
Well,
Democratic
because-
Party,
Because Rolo,
sometimes I am voting against
that's
my own
your
interests.
interest, but in your interests are not everybody else's
Correct.
interests.
But think
Exactly.
about this, right?
So,
let me
that's
say
why we live in a
something.
democracy.
Let me
because
let me
your
say
interests are
something
not
really
defined
quick, right?
By the majority.
Let me say something really quick, right? So, Mari, if you for example you get pregnant, right? And pregnancy, like I don't know, you are like 6 months into the pregnancy, and you realize, or the doctors realize, that your baby is not be able to survive, right?
Oh my God.
You want to be living
Tony,
in a world
every
Don't go
single
there,
you get
Tony.
criminalized because
So-
you need to have an abortion, Mari?
But
Really?
every single
You
state,
need to make the decision
every
between a
single
Republican
state-
and a Democrat in that sense?
every single state in the union allows for termination of pregnancies if it endangers the mother.
Not true. Idaho
Uh,
doesn't.
Okay, well then that's new then, Rolo.
No,
No,
that's
there's
not
a- there's
true.
a lot of
Sorry,
legislation
Rolo, you're
that is
wrong.
going to be
if
like
it
that.
endangers, Rolo, you guys stop. If it endangers the mother in any sense of a way, absolutely, but that's not considered an abortion. Period.
It is an abortion.
No, it's not.
Yes,
it's
it is.
just
But-
like
but you
probably,
living-
Rolo,
but
are
you
the one
living in
says,
that
since I had to-
possibility,
Hold on, Tony.
right?
Hold on, Tony.
Because
hold
look
on.
at what happened. Hold on,
See,
Janine.
Tony,
Hold
you're
on,
making
Janine.
this about a one issue thing. People have multiple
It's
issues.
a very
and multiple-
important issue. That
But
issue
I'm
is so big,
not
especially
disagreeing.
for
It is an
women.
important issue. It is an important issue,
not.
but
It's all
other
done by
people,
the states, though.
there's
Let me-
multiple issues that make interests right?
But let me
So you
make a
can't
bold
just-
statement.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. I want to make a bold statement. Okay, my postulation here is that when you vote Republican, even if you are Republican, you are voting against your own interests. Now, let me explain why. Hold on, let me explain why. Relax, Janae. The reason is because you Republicans are not passing any policy that benefits the America in general, right? They're going to go against education, against child education, against healthcare choices, against healthcare in general.
Not true.
Rolo,
They're going
Rolo.
to. They're,
That's just
hold on,
being
they're passing.
disingenuous. You're being
There
disingenuous
is not
now.
disingenuous.
You really, truly are.
Okay.
Yes,
Nope,
you are.
nope.
100%.
Let him finish, Janet.
Republicans.
Hold on, let me explain. No, well, you cut me off too, so
I did cut you off, and I'm sorry about that. But I was just going to say that in general, if you vote Republican, even if you're a Republican, you're voting against your own interest, even if you don't think you are.
well, what? who
Especially
defines
you
what
are a
my own
woman,
interests are?
Latina.
Who is defining what my interests are?
Well, what are
He
your
is.
interests? I
He
forgot
is
to ask you
because
that.
he's a Democrat. That's why.
I'm not a Democrat.
ridiculous,
Listen,
Rolo.
this
Ma'am, what are
Maida,
your interests?
Maida,
What's important to you?
the differences between, I guess, I can't even say parties because I feel like they're very similar in many aspects.
Not at
they're
all.
very similar.
Not at
in
all.
many
I
aspects.
would agree in a lot of aspects, yes.
Yes.
No.
So what I would say in the difference of philosophical thinking between maybe a conservative and a progressive is not that we don't recognize an issue. We all recognize that there's a problem, right? Let's take, for example, inflation. We all recognize that there's an inflation problem. The only difference between the thoughts is how the solutions, right? And the solutions you might not agree with, then that's fine. But to blank statement that an entire philosophical group
on that point, though, can
is
I argue
against
that
the
the
American
Democrats-
people, they're just going in a different way. That's all.
on,
And I
but-
would say the same thing to Republicans as well.
Hold on. Mari, let's explore that thought right there. Would you agree that talking about inflation and the economy, Democrats do much better with the economy than
my
Republicans, and Republicans, they actually harm the economy and cause a lot of problems with the economy.
I would argue that both do the same thing.
But when you look at it objectively,
Well,
we
I
know
am
that-
looking at it objectively. I think the biggest
okay, but
problem
let's
of
look at
our
what happened under Bush. Let's look
I
at what
think our
happened
biggest problem
under
in-
Obama, and then
I
we look
think
at what
our-
happened under Trump, and then
I am
under Biden
looking
right
at
now.
it objectively, and I'm saying that the biggest problem in our economy, right, and that both parties
Are
engage
Democrats. Bottom
with
line.
is no
Come on, Janae.
is
I'm teasing.
government
No, you're saying the
spending.
same thing, Rolo. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
not saying
but
the
who
same
is
thing. I'm
more?
actually talking
Who
about
is more?
policy.
Hold on, hold on,
It's government
hold on.
spending.
I want to get.
I
So
came
who
up
is
here
more
because I wanted to
responsible
talk
with the
about why
money?
he thinks MAGAs are
Hold
all
on,
over the
hold on, Maga
no,
Janae.
no,
Maga
this is
Janae, give
great.
me a
We have a
second.
Republican, two Democrats,
who
and an
is-
No, and I
independent.
haven't been able to speak. Rolo keeps saying,
to
no,
the
that's not
data,
true.
Mari,
I mean, give me
Mari,
a break.
according to the data, who is better in the economy? Because it's the Democrats. Clinton,
I don't look at it.
surplus.
I don't look at it in a micro level. I look at it in a macro level. And I think both parties have
You
engaged.
have to look at a macro
I,
level and macro.
I think both parties have engaged in nefarious economic policies that have not contributed to the better health of our country.
But why is it objectively
okay,
better under
They're
both?
both
can you name a democratic policy that is putting damage into the American people?
Inflationary spending.
That's not the cause and
I
effect
can, but
of the
unfortunately,
inflation.
I'll get booted
Inflationary
out.
spending, and both parties engage with it.
But that's not a thing, though. Inflationary
thing.
spending it's a made up term.
It is a thing. We spend way too much money that
I never hear that
That's not the
before.
cause and effect of inflation, Mike.
Yes, it is. It's printing
No,
money.
it's not.
Yes,
It's
it is.
supply and
It is.
demand.
We just
it's
passed
not.
a bill. We just passed a bill for
Literally-
$95 billion.
Inflation is literally printing
you
more money
kidding me,
that
Rolo?
devalues the currency.
That's not inflation.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Printing money now, y'all.
So
We're
who prints
printing
more
we don't
money?
have.
So
And
who
we're also
prints
borrowing.
more money? Biden or Donald
It doesn't
Trump? Who
matter. At
prints
this
more
Donald
point,
Trump
it's not a
did.
Biden or a
Donald Trump did,
thing,
right? So
honey.
that tells me that
And that's why I
Biden is
won't
more
be voting for
responsible
Donald
than
Trump.
Donald Trump.